Yes! Okay, that was loud. What the Rock is cooking. Hello and welcome to another figure review. This is Real Payne coming to you with the SH Figuarts WWE Superstar Series, The Rock. And like in Japanese, also nice. This is by Bandai Tamashii Nations. You know these guys. I mean, if you're new to the channel, hi, maybe you don't know these guys, let me tell you about them. You got the box. Once again, I'm gonna say I like the box design. It's really WWE-ish. Like when they had the intro, they had like the all flickering lights and whatnot, and it really fits. So bring it. I mean, no, it's just bring it, boys. You missed the word there. But yeah, you got the Rock bottom, People's Champ, WWE logo, Japanese text, SH Figuarts, and even like kind of over the shoulder looking Rocky, looking over the shoulder to himself, but with more writing and whatnot. So yeah, I really like the logos they did for the characters and the little, if you smell what the Rock is cooking. That's cool. And more the Rock SH Figuarts. But enough about the box. Let's have a look at the figure. Rocky, 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 Rocky. Hi. Well, once again, I gotta say, the look already, I mean, you look at this face and you're like, wow. Is this The Rock? Is this real The Rock? Did they shrink him down? Is this a new movie coming out with Dwayne Johnson? Shrunk down? Honey, I Shrunk the Rock? Anyhow, first of all, I'm gonna have a look at the size of this guy. He stands at about, it's not really straight. He's pretty much 16 centimeters to the top of his head. A tiny bit like 16 and 16.1, 16.2. So that means he's like 6.5 inches. Around that size, but yeah. Face sculpt, check. Is this The Rock? Yeah, this is The Rock. I don't know, I look at the eyes and I feel like he's a tiny bit shifty-eyed, maybe? I don't know what that was. Tiny. Oh my god, I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on right now. I'm a little bit in the hype train, I guess. But anyway, the overall sculpt is amazing. And I just put them side to side with Stone Cold. They made a lot of differences. So that was like the one fear I had, that they kind of would recycle too much. But they didn't. This is an entirely new mold, once again, because it should be. The Rock was always a little smaller than Stone Cold. He does have the chest area, which is different, and he is a lot slimmer around the waist, and also the arms. But we'll have him side to side later. Just have a look at The Rock. Of course, you got the Brahma Bull tattoo, and by the way, this is a more classic design. It's like a, I would say, what Rock design is that? This is like this is like early 2000s, so to me, like with the haircut and everything. He doesn't have the big tattoo going on over here, and that's good. I like it. I like my Rocky from the past. Overall, you got the nice little detail going on with like The Rock. It's just all nice and shiny, nice and silver. You got the Brahma Bull on his tights, on the back of his tights. Got like regular knee pads, which look good, and you got the more iconic boots. I mean, it's definitely accurate. The one thing I don't really agree with look-wise is that they painted his neck. You know, I get it. The hairline would go kind of over there, but it just looks weird. And the main problem is like they painted the hair and this line on the neck in a different color. It's, I mean, not a different color, but this is flat black and this is a more shiny black. But overall, I mean, other than that, I can't really see a blemish on this guy, on the look of this guy, look-wise. Articulation-wise, though, well, you know, I had a couple of problems with the Stone Cold, and these are still kind of here with The Rock, unfortunately. So, first of all, the head is still, it goes back, it doesn't really go down, goes around, gets some wiggle motion. It's kind of hard to move it around without moving your neck around, because that's where you get basically the articulation around, moves around, left and right, back and forth. And then the shoulders, like I said, I don't really like this joint. Like, I think it sticks kind of out weird, the butterfly joint. I mean, it does work, you can bring it forward a little bit, it still kind of blocks it because it's like weirdly done, weirdly shaped, and it's not so great. But it does get the job done with the shoulder. You can kind of move this around, you can kind of bring this forward. I mean, you have to play around with it, basically. It's not a bad articulation, it just kind of looks weird. And then you got the elbow, goes up all the way, and it goes around, because you don't have a bicep swivel. You have this swivel, but then you have the elbow pad itself, which kind of looks weird, but yeah, it's double jointed, it works. Then we got the fist on the ball joint, rotates around, goes back and forth, isn't blocked, so gets good range. So then at the torso area, the entire chest, it moves around a lot more, I feel like, than Austin does. Kind of goes back, yeah, it goes, you kind of get a gap over there, unfortunately. Not much you really can do about that. But it works, and it kind of like tells you when to stop, actually. That wasn't so clear with Stone Cold. I guess that was one of the problems why he fell apart a lot more. And then down here at the torso, down at the hip, actually. And my voice is kind of shot. I'm sorry, it keeps slipping away from me. But yeah, you get the articulation done like that. Goes back and forth. And you kind of have like a floating piece under there to not leave any gaps, even though it's kind of stuck right now, so it's not super effective, but it's okay, it's alright that they did that. Just like with the Stone Cold review though, I don't really agree with the legs. I don't really like this engineering. Kind of have this, it's not really a floaty piece, but it's kind of moving around. Like you can tell, you know, I'm moving the leg around, and this kind of wiggles around on itself. So it's one of these things, you pull it out, you get good articulation, goes forward, goes back, goes out to the side. It looks kind of wonky though, and then you tuck it back in if you just want to have a standing pose, and that works. Knee joint looks great, gets great motion, and then you have the swivel down here, and you have the toe, the foot that goes down, not really forward but back, and side to side. Actually, no, hold on, is it stuck? No, there it goes. It's kind of stiff, but it does have an ankle rocker. Goes out to the side, and that's the articulation. But now let's have a look at the accessories. So he comes with a couple of hands. First of all, he has two pointy fingers, if they would focus, thank you. They got like the simple pointy fingers. Then you got, just like with Stone Cold, you got the two open hands with the hinge on it for like more grappling poses. If my camera would goddamn focus, not take forever. Thank you very much, Mr. Camera. So yeah, open palm hands. And then you got the what I think are the just bring it hands. Unless it's kind of, you know, to put his mic. I don't think he can put his mic in. He has a mic, spoilers. But yeah, this looks like the just bring it for both sides. The problem with that, he doesn't have an open hand. He doesn't have, like, you know, he gives him the open hand. You know, he kind of gives him the open hand, and then he goes like, just bring it, right? That's how it goes. He doesn't have an open hand. You can't do this part. You can only do this part. Because the only couple of hands he has left are these ones to hold a mic. Yes, of course, The Rock comes with a mic. And this one's bad. I'm just gonna say it, this one's bad. First of all, there's no texturing in on the top of it. Like, kinda, they could have done a little bit instead of just giving me a completely flat black mic, looking like a Monopoly piece. There's no WWE logo on it, there's nothing on it, it's just black plastic. I mean, I know it's a mic, but if I wouldn't tell you that this was a mic, I would just put this in your hand, I would just give this to you and ask you what it is. You probably wouldn't know it wasn't even a mic, so not a huge fan of that. I mean, it's cool that they gave him a mic, but it doesn't look, come on, put a logo on it or something. Then we got the faces though. Those are great, except for one. Oh, spoilers. But yeah, you have the sunglasses again. It just looks amazing with the Ford and everything. And he does look pretty shiny. He does look oily, and that's again realistic. Then we get this face. I mean, it's still a good face, especially with the teeth and everything going on. He's just a little bit too black around the mouth. He kind of looks like he has a mustache, and the eyes. And I think he's squinting a little bit too much. He looks more like Rocky Johnson, this one, like his dad, right? No, I feel like he kind of looks more like that one. Maybe that is Rocky Johnson. And then we got like the more serious looking, a little bit gritting teeth. This is another one of the iconic Rock faces, and just, you know, they just did an amazing job on these, and they delivered all the faces you really need with your Stone Colds and your Rocks. Now before we end it, I'm gonna bring you a little bit of comparison time. Overall, these guys just look amazing side by side. Like I said, the look of it, And as you can tell, The Rock, he is a lot slimmer than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is also a tiny bit taller, but like I said, the chest area looks different. Stone Cold had kind of like a bigger, more rounded area, while The Rock, his pecs are kind of like, you know, a little bit tighter, The Rock's pecs. This is kind of weird. Final thoughts on his figure. He looks amazing, just like Stone Cold. Just like Stone Cold, though, the engineering, the butterfly joints, and the things going on the legs, it's kind of bothering me, but once you get him in a pose, you will not really see it that much anymore. So, in the end, it's still a good-looking figure. It's all new sculpt work, all unique sculpt work, and they really did a good job with that. I just wish the articulation. So basically, almost like a 9 out of 10 on everything, and I give you a 6 or 7 on the articulation. Good. That's gonna do it, boys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Boys and girls, by the way. I looked at my YouTube right now. I have like 14% female viewership. What's up, ladies? Just kidding. But yeah, anyway, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, feel free to hit it up with a like and maybe subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever The Rock wants. If yes, no, I already did that. Goodbye.